It's the tattooed madman Psycho Mike, welcoming you to this edition of my twisted world of Masters of Mayhem right here. Thank you very much for joining me, and you never know what you're going to find here when I'm on the air. Thank you very much for joining me. So on that note, I want you to sit back, rip the top off a cold one, roll up a fatty, and enjoy this edition of Psycho Mike's Twisted World of Masters of Mayhem.
This is the Tattooed Madman, and you're going to see the Tattooed Madman of professional wrestling. I'm Psycho Mike, and here's my partner. Woo, that's a Psycho Mike, booga wooga man. We coming at you, Jack. We're going to be balling squad, climb the wall. Old time Jubilee blood's going to flow like wine. On Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. All right, Jack. You! Disrupto from floor! And you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass!
Big Gang the Mighty from 4, and you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass on back.
Well, I'm sitting here jamming with the Kiss from your Bandits! And you're watching Psycho Mike kicking ass on Masters of Mayhem! Woo!
Hello, wrestling fans in the Cleveland area. I'm Jeff Jarrett, and I'd like to say hello to all the great people in Northeast Ohio. You know, I've heard there's a lot of great things that come out of Cleveland. You got the Cavaliers, you've got the Browns, you've got the Indians. They're going to be there, and one in particular that I've heard about, and he's like a good buddy of mine. I've talked to him several times. His name is Psycho Mike, and I'm looking forward to seeing him up July 11th.
This is Violent J, Insane Clown Box. Too dope, and when we're in Cleveland, that's all we watch, brother. We check out the Masters of Mayhem. That's right. Mayhem. Professional wrestling at its best. Masters of Mayhem, brother. You better recognize Masters of Mayhem and Violent J. Stranglemania style, brother. Oh, yeah.
Telling you, it is your main maniac, the Ghoul, and we're all going to watch Psycho Mike beat the cheese whiz out of each and every opponent on the Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. Hey! How you doing?
Scary Sherry, the one and only Sister Sherry Martell. Cleveland, Ohio, the Masters of Mayhem Wrestling, the only professional wrestling that has been here in the last 5 years, where you ought to go now. Bye.
Hey, we're going to watch Masters of Mayhem Wrestling.
Masters of Mayhem.
Where you ought to be.
Where you ought to be.
You're watching Masters of Mayhem.
Everybody stay tuned. You never know who you're going to see on Masters of Mayhem or what you're going to hear on MMA. Cleveland, it's the tattooed madman Psycho Mike, along with Sweet Destiny from Team Law.
Yo, Cleveland, Ohio! You're watching the Masters of Mayhem with Team Law.
Then alongside Sensational Summer. Cleveland, what's happening? It's the tattooed madman Psycho Mike, along with Team Law's Cat. Stay tuned, Cleveland. Thank you.
This thing's...
What's happening, Cleveland? It's the tattooed madman Psycho Mike, here along with Team Law's Bobcat.
Pussy that fight. Don't forget you'll be seeing me down here in Cleveland in Madness Mayhem.
Cleveland! It's Tater! I'm
Mayhem wrestling. You can't beat it with a stick. You can't whip it with a switch. Don't even try. You can like break it. Yeah!
Macho Man Randy Savage, and you are watching the Masters of Mayhem in Cleveland, Ohio. Oh yeah, dig it!
Hearing all the time.
What? What? Hallelujah! We got a brand new dance! It's called a bird! Woo! The Master! Let's break!
This is the Orange Sheik. You are watching Master Maho Wrestling. Don't touch the
This is Typhoon the Natural Disaster, and you're watching Masters of Mayhem Wrestling.
Hey, this is the tattooed madman Psycho Mike with some wrestler fans.
Hi, my name's Branya. We find girls like us watching
Masters of Mayhem Wrestling.
G'day, mate. I'm Butch, that Cavalier. We're the Bushwhackers. And when we're in Cleveland, we watch Masters of Mayhem. We never, ever take our eyes off the Masters of Mayhem. Love you, baby. Yay!
Just what do people think of Masters of Mayhem Wrestling after just one viewing?
I like it.
And so will you. Check out Masters of Mayhem Wrestling, Music, and Chaos.
All highlights. So, sit back, lift the top off the floor, and enjoy this week's edition of Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. Oh, and by the way, Happy New Year!
Up into the ring in just a moment or two for more exciting fucking action.
We're watching right now one of the cruelest, most savage brawlers in the professional wrestling history, Buddy Colt, the Florida heavyweight champion. You see him there in the black trunks with the red stripe, going up against Johnny Walker. Walker has been sidelined by Colt twice in professional wrestling, both times with a broken arm. Colt has a reputation of having injured and put more wrestlers out of the profession than any other wrestler alive today. This is a lights-out match. You see Colt has both of his hands taped. Johnny Walker, thoroughly and completely recovered now, going after Buddy Colt. This lights-out match, and it's Johnny Walker determined now to settle the score with Buddy Colt. But of course, with Buddy Colt, one could almost say with assurance that one never settles the score with Buddy Colt unless he considers it settled. Becky has a favorite phrase that he always pays his debts. And some of his debts may be somewhat misguided, but he is without a doubt one of the most brutal competitors in professional wrestling today, giving no quarter at any time. All right. Colt, watching his man, he respects Johnny Walker. He respects the great wrestling ability this man has. And he also respects the intestinal fortitude that Johnny Walker possesses. And you stop to think that here's a man that has put Johnny Walker out of commission twice, sidelined him, once for 3 months, once for 2 months. It must then have tremendous heart on the part of Johnny Walker to get back into the ring with a man who has injured him in this manner. And Colt Taking that Bulldog right into the turnbuckle now. Caught with a knee lift by Johnny Walker. Walker catching that arm. Walker, methodical, deliberate. Now twisting the arm of Buddy Colt, and Colt trying to get outside the ring, trying to escape because he recognizes what Johnny Walker has in mind. Walker trying to get Colt set up, trying to bring him over next to that ring post where he can utilize that ring post the same way Buddy Colt did on him twice before, looking to break that arm if he can. And Walker finally delivers a knee lift into the rib cage of Buddy Colt, and Colt outside the ring. And Johnny Walker reigning supreme at the moment, and now Walker moves in again, this time caught in the face by Buddy Colt. Colt ripping across the face once again. Walker has been slowed up, no question about this. And Buddy Colt after that left arm, and that's the same left arm that's been broken twice by Buddy Colt. Walker trying gamely to get back to his feet now, trying to relieve that tremendous pressure on his arm. A shot to the midsection that time, and again Buddy Colt moves in. Colt seizes every advantage possible. Note Walker now scissoring that leg, trying to get Buddy Colt off balance, trying to get him down on his back. One great wrestler told me one time, when they're on the canvas, they're all the same size. Johnny Walker caught behind the head twice, once to the midsection. Buddy Colt moves in, brings him up a full body slam. Johnny Walker on the canvas. Buddy Colt in the cross body ride. Walker able to twist away from it just in time. Colt pounding away now. Hits him in the throat. There's that tape thumb to the throat again, and Johnny Walker. That air supply has been cut off. Again, Colt bringing him to his feet. And Walker hooks him nicely. Walker in a beautiful hook. Has him in a cradle. Buddy Colt able to kick free from it. Walker fires to the midsection. Fires again to the side of the jaw. Colt has been staggered, but he's still on his feet, and he's still fighting back. Now Colt is dropped to the canvas. Johnny Walker in for a cross-body ride. Buddy Colt managing to kick his way free at the very, very last second. And now Johnny Walker concentrating on that upper arm of Buddy Colt, pounding away. Mercilessly playing away at that arm now. Catching that arm over the ring rope, and watch Johnny Walker wreaking more havoc on that left arm. Johnny Walker out to settle the score with Buddy Colt once and for all. All right, Colt coming up very slowly. Walker delivers that high knee lift that has Buddy Colt in trouble. A hammerlock now, once again concentrating, and he's going up for the shoulder breaker. Walker going up for that shoulder breaker. Colt able to break it, however, and this man is tremendously resourceful. Buddy Colt utilizing every advantage possible. Crashing down on the small of Johnny Walker's back. He's got him stunned, knocking the air out of him. Colt bringing him up now, catches him over the heart, catches him in the pit of the stomach. Now Buddy Colt planting the boots to Johnny Walker. Right between the shoulder blades. And watch Buddy Colt going up on that top rope. Remember, this is a lights-out match. Anything goes. Walker caught squarely in the middle of the back now by Buddy Colt. Buddy Colt in a cross-body ride, and Johnny Walker gamely trying to get away but can't. It's too late. And the winner, although the match has taken a great toll out of him too, the winner of this match, once again, the ruthless Buddy Colt.
Starts this battle for the North American heavyweight title. A man without the mask, big husky individual, and certainly one of the most powerful men in the game, the champion, North American champion, Hacksaw Butch Reed. His opponent, Mr. Veteran himself, a man who knows every inch of that ring intimately and knows every trick of the trade. Mr. Wrestling 2. This crowd has already welcomed him with the traditional 2-2-2. And now as he turns on Butch Reed with his own unique style, there he is, Mr. Wrestling 2, and a man who keeps his cool in that ring, who possesses an explosive knee lift that is bound and determined to knock his opponent from one side of the ring to the other, if not further. And Reed knows it, and Reed is well aware that he's got to use caution in spite of the fact that his best moves come when he tears in there and forgets the consequences. Referee Johnny Martinez listens to Butch Reed, but no action. Reed is trying to calm Mr. Wrestling 2 and keep him from guessing his next move. And that is exactly what he hopes will happen, but you can't do that with 2. 2 is evasive, he is intelligent in his approach to the game, and there goes the knee. That explosive knee that comes up there with a bang and hits its target to do a consistent job. Butch Reed. See him looking for a way into the ring. Butch Reed will be here on Friday, September 23rd. Will be in action then on a card that is triple main event. 3 tremendous matches, girl wrestlers in one of the earlier battles, and there's plenty of action and a variety of action for every sports fan. Look at those arms on Butch Reed if you want some idea of what it takes to bench press 500 pounds and to do some of the other feats of strength of which this man is capable. Side headlock. He puts the twist on Wrestling 2. And there's the back heel trip, and he took him down and rolled him over. Butch Reed found it tough going there. He let go of the hold. He had to. He wasn't sure what was coming next. And you can bet that you've got to have an appreciation for artistry when a man who looks as though he couldn't stand up to a guy who is 275 pounds and come out winner is in that ring with you. Butch Reed using power to come out of the side headlock. There's the muscular body of Butch, and from any angle, this man is fully muscled and able to control his muscles and gain balance that's going to give him superiority in strength. So too, anxious to move in. He sensed that he had him just psychologically off balance that time, and he wanted to do something about it. 5 minutes have gone by. Right in the nose. And again, as he comes around, he looks for that nose sticking out there, and 2 blocked him, and 2 walloped him, and 2 comes right back in there with a dose of medicine that sets him up for the use of that driving knee lift. So Butch Reed is out here on the floor. Even had I.W. Marks jumping out of his seat that time. There's Reed. Reed finding his way now up into the ring and wondering what has happened to that powerhouse attack of his, that he isn't able to inhale this man and blow him out of his nostrils just in one sniff. So 2 watches closely. He has faced the biggest men in the game. He has faced the best men in the game. Listen to the fans. Word is 2. 2. Front headlock for 2. Wrestling 2. Wrestling number 2. Yes, that's because there once was a wrestling number 1, and he was 2's partner. Believe me, 1 and 2 made 3. Seemed like you were wrestling 3 men when you were in the match against those 2. And he tries to shake him loose. One of the things that Wrestling 2 constantly employs is that front headlock where he hangs on for all he's worth and makes his opponent weaken his effort, use up his strength. He tires him, he trims him down by making certain that as he hangs onto that head, he isn't shaken loose. And there came a knee lift from the second rope. He came in there with the second, that driving knee lift. And this tremendous crowd here in the Sam Houston Coliseum tonight gives Wrestling 2 all of the license he needs to go back into that battle and to do anything he wants against a guy who would pick up a chair on the outside of the ring. Now, as Reed drops the chair, I guess Irv will get back and sit in it. But the count was being told, and Reed is confused. The champion is confused. The North American champion is wondering what to do next against the man who uses the double wrist lock and takes him down and then takes a commanding position on top. 2 in behind, hard to shake, sticks there veritably like glue, and he stays right on top of him. The double wrist lock is an arm lock now that he is using just to hang on to him, and hang on to him he does. That's 2 doing the wailing away, and he hit on him. 2 ran into trouble that time. That knee caught him full length from the jaw right down into the midsection. The whole lower part of the leg was used by Reed that time, and aided and abetted by the rush, the headlong rush of Wrestling 2. Reed's on top. 2 that time marshaled all of his muscles and made them work together, and they did. So 2 takes punishment, and that turnbuckle won't give an inch. Hard smash. You just keep in mind that the next wrestling will be here in the Sam Houston Coliseum on Friday, the 23rd of September. But tickets are available at 1919 Caroline at the corner of Pierce. Each day of the week, Monday through Friday, from 9 to 4. And there goes Butch Reed, and he found his target, and this could be tough on Mr. Wrestling. As the punishing, he uses that weight, he gets in there, he smashes down on it. Johnny Martinez trying to break the hold, and it turns out to be a chokehold. He reached right in there with both hands, and he's got powerful hands. Laid him in there. And 2 is in trouble. Serious trouble. Friday, September 23rd, Junkyard Dog will defend the crown that the fans of Houston gave him when they named him the King of Wrestling. They didn't care who was champion, they named him King of Wrestling, and he is going to put up that crown against world champion Nick Bockwinkel's attack. And if Junkyard Dog loses, he will lose his crown and the right to bump Nick Bockwinkel all over the wrestling world. And there is Reed. The fans are on his case. And 2 raised his hands. He gave him that 2 signal. They started hollering for 2 to go to work. And finally he marshals his strength. He gets up, but he can't stay there. That's a powerful man in there behind. Reed Butch is a battler. There's no question about it. And he is not only top man by holding the North American title, by being among the top 5 in the Mid-South. He is in the national ratings as one of the finest prospects for the world's heavyweight title we've seen in a long time. He's got the equipment, he just needs the experience, and he's in there against experience, and that's the way to learn. But he may learn at his peril, because Wrestling 2 doesn't give lessons. He goes out to win. And Reed is telling the referee that 2 is ready. He said he's ready, that he's passing out. Watch the way the referee lifted that hand. The hand stayed up and moved around. He's not out. He may be close, but he's not out. Two underneath is getting ready for something. He's squirming out of the hole, just squirming so that he can move around without breaking his own neck. And he managed to get out of it. So 2 is in trouble because the punishment is cumulative. And here is a man who has blasted him from the start of this match, and every one of those blows leaves its mark, takes its toll as you go along. So 2 fights back, but you've got to keep fighting. He's looking sharpshooter, but so is Reed. Give and take, sock and be socked. And 2 ran into a stone wall, literally, that time. That elbow was coming around, and it caught him, and caught him hard. Crotch lift, man. Tough slam. And here is Butch. Look at that projectile. And look at that fall. He hit that canvas and hit it hard. This may give 2 the opportunity he's looking for. A chance to uncork that knee. Two-handed attack. Sets him up and moves in. There's the knee. He found the spot, and and 2 this time he hurt his knee. That's bad news for 2 fans, because without his knee, Mr. Wrestling 2 is actually lost his best weapon. That driving knee lift with that right leg. And you can see what Butch Reed is doing as he hangs onto that leg and uses the ring post rather as a means of pulling that kneecap apart, trying to damage that cartilage, trying to make it impossible for Wrestling 2 to explode against him. And Butch Reed may make a mistake. He's going after that mask, and knee or no knee, you just don't do that to Wrestling 2. And Wrestling 2 has gotten up on his feet, and with the intent now of that knee again. He may have the guts, but the knee has got to be firm, no matter how much guts you have. There's that front headlock and half Nelson to turn him over, and 2 is, whoa, he got in there and drove in regardless of the consequences, and 2 is down. He has exploded against the North American champion at the 15-minute mark, and he hurt the knee again in the process. Here is Butch Reed, and he speared him. On top is Butch Reed. We've got Butch Reed, the winner, and Mr. Wrestling 2 with an injured knee. There it is. Butch Reed is the winner.
Gentlemen, I'm standing here with the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, and as you know, there's a tremendous amount of pressure when you hold any championship, and there's a lot of pressure internally on any team. And it's hard enough to deal with the pressure of your match when you have a problem internally. And we've seen develop a tremendous problem over the North American title, where Magnum TA was selected by the board of directors of Mid-South Wrestling to be the #1 contender for the North American title, a goal which he in Wrestling 2 as his coach had so sought. And yet when that goal came down, it seemed like it caused a tremendous amount of dissension, and you have publicly humiliated and accused this man of many things. First of all, you've accused him of being a coward. You've challenged him publicly on TV. I'd like to join with you while you watch last week, even after the way you humiliated him, and he turned and walked away rather than wrestling you. He stated he did not want to wrestle you. He turned and walked away. And yet when you got in trouble, he came to your aid. Let's watch that.
These guys are an awesome team. The crowd was already hollering for the Rock and Roll Express. I think everybody wants to see the Rock and Roll Express against them. And there they just beat Wrestling 2's partner. It seems like they're not satisfied with it. They're not satisfied with it, but they just piled right John King. But Wrestling 2, it looks like Wrestling 2, even though the match is over, Wrestling 2 is, you know, I guess he feels like he didn't quite get to prove his point, so he's out there just, wow, they hit him with that tennis racket. Boyd Pierce, they just knocked Wrestling 2's running lights out. They took Jimmy Cornette's tennis racket. And I know most of you know that just an ordinary tennis racket's not going to hurt you that bad. I have a feeling that one has got some special reinforcement. Here comes Magnum TA. Magnum TA is coming to help his coach and his tag partner. Magnum TA, this just shows you what kind of loyalty this young man's made of. Belly-to-belly suplex. Magnum TA is just really... There's Crusher Darso. Darso's just come in from behind on TA. Darso is scheduled to wrestle TA next in the television tournament match. Darso, he just rammed TA's head into that steel post. Magnum TA's down, Wrestling 2 is down. Magnum TA came and tried to save his partner after his partner still humiliated him and slapped his face here on TV, and look what Magnum TA got for it.
Action here on Mid-South Wrestling, and we'll have more coming up after this.
Boy, this is out of control. They're going to have to restore some order right now. Here comes the troops.
Certainly, if he was the type of individual that you had accused him of being, and after all that you had done to him, he could have well ignored what was happening to you when you took a nobody and tried to accomplish what you and TA have had a hard enough time doing as the champions, defeat the Midnight Express. But yet still, when you got in trouble, this man came to your aid, which eventually cost him possibly advancing in the television tournament. Let's watch the closing moments of that match.
This young man who we've watched develop here, the crowd is with him so much that he's just proved beyond a shadow of doubt. You know, he's laid down his body for his brother, so to speak. Wrestling 2 closely watching the match. His coach is watching the match. Maybe 2 is finally awakened. Maybe 2 has realized what a fool he's made of himself, and maybe he's out there to cheer TA on, because TA and Darso are both down. Referee Carl Fergie counting. Darso to his feet. Now he's counting TA. Wrestling 2 watching closely. Darso picks him up in that awesome, devastating hold he's got where his shoulders are underneath the rib cage, forcing the air out of the lungs. 2's called the referee over. 2's called the referee over. 2's called the referee over. TA has not capitulated. Crusher Darso's got Magnum TA up. I don't understand what's going on out here. TA has just come out. TA's just come out. 2 threw in the towel. 2 threw in the towel. Magnum TA's got Darso pinned. The referee doesn't know it. 2's thrown in the towel. 2, he's given the match to Darso. He gave the match to Darso. It looked like 2 threw in the towel. As his coach, he threw in the towel, capitulating the match. Magnum TA had Khrushchev, Darso, whatever you want, had him pinned. TA can't believe what's happened. He showed the guts and courage.
Again, like I say, although badly lacerated, still wearing the butterfly bandages for the tremendous cut he received coming to your aid, yet he still went out. He didn't back down. He went out and took on Crusher Darsow, Crusher Khrushchev, whatever you want to call him, a very formidable, tough, rough opponent in the TV tournament. Rather than forfeit, he went out there and carried the battle to him. And I thought maybe you'd come to your senses and you came out and looked like you'd resumed the role of coach. And yet, when he got into that formidable hold, I couldn't understand. You were calling the referee over. He was fighting the hold, and he came out of the hold and had Crusher Khrushchev pinned, and you threw the towel in. Again, I ask you, with him present, why did you throw the towel in?
Bill, this man was bleeding. He was in trouble. He was getting the devil beat out of him. Let's face it. He was down for the count. He was upside down, screaming, I quit, I quit, I quit. I can't stand no more.
Wait a minute. You're saying that he was saying that he quit? I've never heard this man quit.
You heard what I said. He said he quit. He said, I quit. That's what I called the referee over there for. That's why I threw the towel in. I didn't want him to embarrass us any further. We are supposed to be the tag team champions. I don't want any embarrassment, so I threw the towel in to where he wouldn't have to embarrass myself by quitting.
So you are now saying, and this is different than your story last week when I asked you, you're now saying that he submitted and gave up in that hole.
That's what I said, isn't it?
And you threw the towel in for that reason.
That's why I threw the towel.
Coach, what in the world is wrong with you? You, of all people, know that I'm no quitter. I wasn't a quitter when I met you. That was a characteristic of me that you thought you could make me a champion. All the hard work, all the hours of training you had me, and I never quit. And in that ring with Darsow, I didn't quit. You know I didn't quit. And you know what? I know why you did what you did, because you were jealous. You were afraid that I was going to come out on top in that tournament and do something that you weren't going to have the opportunity to do. Well, I'm going to tell you something. All that aside, you and I are the champions. I'm going to put all that aside because we owe something to ourselves as the champions. We owe something to all those people out there that we represent, and I want to go on as champions and remain that way.
Let me tell you something, T.A. I told you once, I'll tell you again. I picked you up from the garbage and made you a man. But you're a gutless man. You got no guts. You see, I've embarrassed you. I've slapped your face not once, but 3 times. I have put a challenge to you, and you turned your back on me because you haven't got the guts. And matter of fact, you know, the embarrassment, no one can be embarrassed anymore than but being slapped. And matter of fact, I think I'll slap you again.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've turned the other cheek, but I can see I can talk till I'm blue in the face. It ain't going to do no good. Well, let's get it on.
Oh, no.
He's ready. He's calling it.
Bill, let me tell you something right now. He's just like the junkyard dog. You see, he's looking for an excuse. If I go in there and beat him now, he'll say he's not dressed right, he wasn't prepared. He'll have some kind of excuse, just like the junkyard dog, looking for excuses. You sign the contract, you make it legal, and I'm going to put you in that ring in front of everybody, and I'll beat you up and up. Square, fair and square. That's where I'm going to beat him.
There you have it. There you have it. It's in the hands of Grizzly Smith. You can see the crowd. They'd like it now. So would I, tell you the truth, but it's up to Grizzly Smith. We'll be back after these words from Mid-South Network.
Who are you?
See more smoke. Smoke detector. And I see more smoke coming from that toaster.
Thanks for warning us, Seymour.
I hate smoke. So whenever I see it, I make this noise to warn you. Because where there's smoke, there may be fire.
Be cool about fire safety.
Be cool.
Psycho Mike here, the tattooed madman. Stay tuned for more chaos. Oh yeah, I'm hated by many, loved by very few. It's the tattooed madman Psycho Mike. And if you don't want to get locked in a mental ward with me, you'll click like and hit subscribe now.